Happiness is the drug of success. Episode 195. Are you ready to make your law firm a profit-generating machine that will free up your time and skyrocket your impact? With more than 2 decades of business growth experience and having proven that you can be successful while prioritizing your family and your impact, introducing the Profit with Law podcast. I am your host, the creator of the Firm Differentiator 10X Effect, Moshe Amsel. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Profit with Law podcast. I'm your host, Moshe Amsel, and for those of you who are daily subscribers, you listen to this podcast the moment it gets released. You are noticing that this episode is getting released a day late. I have been suffering from allergies and didn't think I had the voice to record this episode until Tuesday. So it's not getting released till Wednesday. It happens every once in a while, not frequently, that we get a little off schedule. So here we are a day later, and I am going to talk to you about happiness. And this came up in a recent coaching session, and it really reminded me that this is something that we should talk about, not infrequently, but frequently. So I'm going to get into this topic in just a moment, but I have to start by asking you this question, and that is, do you tell yourself, when I achieve X, I will be happy? When I have this size house, when I have this car, when I work less than X number of hours a week, when I finally have time to exercise, when I, do you tell yourself, when I eventually have this thing or have achieved this thing, that is when I will be happy? And if the answer is yes, then you definitely want to stay tuned to the rest of this episode. But before I jump into the topic, I am going to take a brief moment to share some love with our sponsors. Finding amazing employees is the toughest job for any business, and especially for a law firm. You deserve to be the law firm owner you've always wanted to be, but you can't get there without a great team. Get Staffed Up helps you build your all-star team by staffing your law firm with incredible full-time offshore virtual assistants. Work with Get Staffed Up to save money and your biggest resource, time, while they find you the best English-speaking VAs in the world. # delegate your way to freedom. Learn more at www.getstaffedup.com/VIP. As an attorney, you want to get more done for your clients while converting leads into new business. But your days are filled with drafting documents, meetings, court appearances, speaking with opposing counsel, and making sure no one falls through the cracks. This leaves you with little time to focus on your business. Meet Lawmatics, the most powerful client intake and marketing automation CRM built for the modern law practice. With Lawmatics, you can win more business, impress clients, and be more efficient. Go to www.lawmatics.com to book your personalized demo and learn how Lawmatics can help you grow your firm. Thanks to our sponsor, Smith AI. Smith AI is a superior virtual receptionist service for small businesses. They specialize in working with solo and small law firms. I discovered Smith AI a couple of years ago and was blown away by the range of services, which are available at a cost any attorney, even those of you in the smallest solo practice, can afford. Their friendly receptionists respond to potential clients in English or Spanish, screen and schedule new leads, and even take payment for consults. The best part is, they don't just handle these conversations by phone. They also have live agents and chatbots capturing leads on websites and via text message. If there's one growth hack to your practice, this is it. Smith's friendly gatekeepers can staff your front lines. They'll capture new leads while you work uninterrupted. You can finally have the peace of mind that while you're working, you're not missing out on future work. Plans start at just $210 a month for calls and $140 a month for chats. They even offer a totally free chatbot, so there's no excuse. Try Smith AI today and see for yourself why attorneys like Justy Nickel in Colorado say Smith AI receptionists are the secret to business growth and client happiness. Smith AI offers a free trial, and podcast listeners can get an extra $100 discount with promo code ProfitLaw100. That's ProfitLaw100. Sign up and learn more at www.smith.ai. Trust me when I say, don't let another day go by. Try Smith AI. All right, and we're back. So please check out our sponsors. This podcast is able to be here as a result of their support of our brand, their support of the things that we do, and if there's a possibility that you might need any of their services, check it out. Give them a look and see if it's something worth investing in for you. And we appreciate when you do that because it goes full circle and it allows us to continue to make this podcast available to you. So I want to talk about happiness today because happiness is not something that is a result. It's not something that is caused by other things. Happiness is controlled by you. You get to decide when you're happy and when you're not happy. And as much as we like to blame outside triggers for our emotions, the reality is that we are in absolute complete control of our emotions. You can have somebody show extreme excitement when something really, really exciting happens. And you can have a poker player sitting at a poker table who has been dealt the best hand possible and there's a ton of chips on the table, and he knows that he's about to win big, and he can contain his excitement and not show it. He can control that emotion. You get to decide whether you're happy or not. And we can look around us and we can find people who are in the most dire of straits and they're happy. You can see a homeless person on the sidewalk that's happy. If you live in a city, if you have plenty of opportunity to pass people like that, every once in a while you pass one and they are happy. How could they be happy? Or, asked differently, how could you not be happy when your situation is not anywhere near as bad as theirs, at least in your mind, right? So I think that the key to understanding happiness and to unlocking it is to really understand what are the triggers. Why do certain things make you feel happy? What is the underlying thing that's happening when that occurs? I'm also going to show you the flip side. So I showed you, somebody who is in dire straits and they're happy, right? But we also have all heard and maybe even seen or met people that are extremely successful. They have everything that money can buy. There's nothing in the world materialistic that they can achieve that they don't already have. And yet they are not happy. They are miserable. As a matter of fact, some people get more miserable with the more money that they have. How can this be? How can it be that we have tied so much to this pedestal, this ultimate thing, that when we achieve this, we're going to be happy, when in reality, there are people who are happy with exactly where we are right now, and they would do anything and give anything to be in your shoes. And yet, we're not happy. Finding amazing employees is the toughest job for any business, and especially for a law firm. You deserve to be the law firm owner you've always wanted to be, but you can't get there without a great team. Get Staffed Up helps you build your all-star team by staffing your law firm with incredible full-time offshore virtual assistants. Work with Get Staffed Up to save money and your biggest resource, time. while they find you the best English-speaking VAs in the world. Hashtag delegate your way to freedom. Learn more at www.getstaffedup.com/VIP. As an attorney, you want to get more done for your clients while converting leads into new business. But your days are filled with drafting documents, meetings, court appearances, speaking with opposing counsel, and making sure no one falls through the cracks. This leaves you with little time to focus on your business. Meet Lawmatics, the most powerful client intake and marketing automation CRM built for the modern law practice. With Lawmatics, you can win more business, impress clients, and be more efficient. Go to www.lawmatics.com to book your personalized demo and learn how Lawmatics can help you grow your firm. Thanks to our sponsor, Smith AI. Smith AI is a superior virtual receptionist service for small businesses. They specialize in working with solo and small law firms. I discovered Smith AI a couple of years ago and was blown away by the range of services, which are available at a cost any attorney, even those of you in the smallest solo practice, can afford. Their friendly receptionists respond to potential clients in English or Spanish, screen and schedule new leads, and even take payment for consults. The best part is, they don't just handle these conversations by phone. They also have live agents and chatbots capturing leads on websites and via text message. If there's one growth hack to your practice, this is it. Smith's friendly gatekeepers can staff your front lines. They'll capture new leads while you work uninterrupted. You can finally have the peace of mind that while you're working, you're not missing out on future work. Plans start at just $210 a month for calls and $140 a month for chats. They even offer a totally free chatbot, so there's no excuse. Try Smith AI today and see for yourself why attorneys like Justy Nickel in Colorado say Smith AI receptionists are the secret to business growth and client happiness. Smith AI offers a free trial, and podcast listeners can get an extra $100 discount with promo code ProfitLaw100. That's ProfitLaw100. Sign up and learn more at www.smith.ai. Trust me when I say, don't let another day go by. Try Smith AI. So I was raised in a house where we were taught to, always be happy with your plight. And I think that because of my upbringing, maybe it's naturally ingrained into me, maybe it's because of my upbringing, I have a natural bent towards optimism, towards happiness. I am definitely happy way more than I'm not. But I can't sit behind the microphone and tell you how to do that because that's the way I was raised. So when I really think about it, and I want you to think about it too, is what is the trigger? Like why do I believe that when I achieve this thing, that then I'll be happy? And whatever that thing is for you, right? Why do I believe that when I'm able to maintain a weight of 180 pounds for a couple of years, then I'll be happy? What is the source of that line of thinking? Why do I think that way? And I think when we start to really dig in and we start to really think about it, it's because our happiness is based on our ego. Our ego, and I don't want to say this in a way that ego is a bad thing. Our ego exists. Our ego is inside of us. It's part of our being. And a lot of the things that we do are done because of our ego. Good, bad, and ugly. Our ego does a lot of good in our lives, and it does a lot of damage in our lives. But we have an ego. And I think that ultimately, when our ego is able to feel like, wow, I have done something good, we feel happy. And when our ego doesn't feel so great, we tend to not feel happy. And that's why we look at these things and we say, well, when I have this big house, that's when I'll be able to show everybody else that I have a big house. That's when I'll be able to, finally be able to have a house that's neat and tidy when people walk in. All of those things are because maybe that's what other people are seeing. And it's not about only what other people are seeing. The ego is there, even if it has nothing to do with what other people see. But I think that ultimately, deep down, when we start to think about it, a lot of what we do is because of the validation that we receive from the outside world. It's because of the society that we live in. And to make my point, there are third world countries or really poor countries that don't have not even close to the life or living conditions that we have. It's not just the U.S. I know I have listeners in other countries, but most of my listeners are in countries where we have a lot more than those third world countries. And yet you go to those countries and people are happy. People are living their lives. They don't walk around thinking, oh my gosh, why are we so poor? Why are we not like those people in the United States? No. They're happy. Or I should say that they have the same problems that we have with happiness. So some of those people are really happy and some of those people are miserable because they also have egos. And within their society, some of them are happy every day and some of them are not. Why am I going so deeply into this? And why should you care? It's important, I think, because if you're doing whatever you're doing to grow your business, to be successful, if you're on that mission because you want to achieve happiness, you're in for a letdown at the end. When you finally achieve greatness, you're not going to find happiness. What you will find is your ego has grown with you. And now it needs more in order to be able to prove itself. And therefore, the finish line keeps moving. The ultimate place where you're going to be happy keeps moving. It keeps shifting. As you grow, it keeps getting further and further away. You're never going to catch it that way. And if you want to enjoy life, if you want to enjoy happiness, if you want to be happy, you have to start living every day for the day that's present, the day that's here, and not so much of the wistfulness of what can be if you were just to achieve a little bit more. And this goes contrary to all the talking that I do on setting goals and things like that. And I want to be very careful to navigate this conversation around that. So basically, goal setting and trying to achieve greater things is great, but your happiness shouldn't be tied to it. There's a lot of other things that happen that's not necessarily happiness, right? You want to set your future generations up. You want to be able to put your kids through college. There are legitimate things that you're trying to achieve with the growth of your law firm. And once you have enough money that money is not your motivation, then you want to create impact. You want to further a cause. There's reasons that you are going to continue carrying the torch, that you're going to continue running your law firm. But if the reason is trying to achieve happiness, it's never going to happen. And I don't want to say never. Some people might achieve happiness along the way. But the reality is that most people who are pegging their happiness on the eventual outcome of something that they're doing, that happiness is going to be very fleeting. It's going to be something that they miss. I'm not thinking of the word that I want to use, but it's going to be something that they just don't, they never catch it. And I would hate to see at the end of the day, the end result of everything that you're doing is that you ultimately didn't find happiness. So what I'm going to ask you to do, and this is going to be a much shorter episode than what we usually do because I don't have a lot to share on the subject, other than the fact that you recognize that happiness is not something that's going to be achieved by going for it before some thing that when you get that, you're going to be happy. Instead, I want you to find ways to be happy today in the here and now with exactly who you are. Now, for some people, that's journaling. For some people, that's, having some exercise where they say what they're thankful for. People have different tricks of how they do it, but I can tell you that happiness is a powerful, powerful medicine. And if you master happiness, it is going to make everything else that you're doing so much more fun, so much more achievable. You're going to be so much more productive. The people around you are going to be so much more pleasant because they're going to be happy to be around you because you're happy. And I don't mean fake happiness. I don't mean putting on a smile just to show a smile and really inside you're not happy. Although that is one of the things that I've heard, that the more that you smile, the more that can invoke happiness in you. I actually think that there's a book on happiness. I think it's called The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. The Happiness Project, I'm looking on Amazon, 10th Anniversary Edition, or Why I Spent a Year Trying to Sing in the Morning, Clean My Closets, Fight Right, Read Aristotle, and Generally Have More Fun. So check that book out. I'm not sure if that's the one I'm thinking of, but I definitely heard a podcast interview where the author was talking about it, and I think I remember The Happiness Project being the name of it. So there's an entire book on how to be happy. So certainly I'm not covering that in this 15-minute podcast episode. But the takeaway is that you get to control your happiness. You get to live every day in happiness, or you get to be miserable. And you get to choose that. But understand that the way that you are, the way that you're feeling, it gets passed on to the people around you. It gets passed on to your potential clients, to your actual clients, to your vendors, your employees. So everybody around you is affected by whether you're happy or not. Now imagine if you can be happy every day. So figure out how. Figure out what is going to put you into a happy state and do that. You know, if releasing endorphins by doing exercise in the morning is what helps you get to that happy state, then do it. If eating a hearty breakfast gets you there, do that. If journaling, meditation, what I'm thankful for, exercises, things like that help you, do that. But if I can challenge you to one thing this week, it's find your happiness and live in that every single day. Don't wait for the eventual, when I achieve this, then I'll be happy. Because you're giving up on all of this lost time. It's kind of like if you don't plan for your business and you don't create a plan and you don't execute on that plan and you look at what is the biggest drawback of not doing that, it's all the lost time that you didn't move forward as fast as you could, that you didn't move forward on the right trajectory on that timeline. It's going to take you much longer. And what is the cost of all of that lost time of not being successful? So what is the cost of all of the days of your life that you weren't happy, where you didn't get to enjoy it? And not only that, but you even got in your own way by affecting the people around you in a way that was not happy. So go out, be happy. Once again, sorry this was late, but hopefully this was right on time for when you needed to hear it. And we have an interview coming tomorrow. I will catch you very shortly. Take care. Have you been enjoying the show? We sure hope so. To make sure you never miss an episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button in your podcast player app. Next week, we will be back with more valuable resources and ideas on how to break the mold and take your law firm to the next level.